Stop. Hush. Hey, y'all. Okay. Come on in, you guys. We're going to announce the giveaway winners. So, yeah, and then we're going to talk about mom guilt or parent guilt, okay? So, a lot of us struggle with that, right? We use drugs while we had our children, right, in our custody. And so a lot of us have a lot of guilt and shame surrounding that. And I want to talk about that tonight. So come on in. We're going to talk about that. I'm also going to show you guys my coat of arms that I made for my first assignment for college, for my college degree thing I'm doing with my instructor, Mr. Rick. So come on in. If you guys don't mind, help me out and share the video. Okay, share the video, like the video, and invite a friend. Share the video, like the video, and invite your friends, okay? Because it helps me out a lot. So share the video, like the video, invite your friends. And I'm going to wait until we get people in here because we're going to announce the giveaway winner. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is we're going to be talking about guilt and shame. Guilt and shame from using drugs when we were having our kids in our custody. I know a lot of you guys had done that like I did. And so I want to talk about that. You know, because it's hard to forgive yourself whenever you had your children taken away from you, or maybe you gave your children to your parents because you were fucking up and you knew you were going to fuck up. And so I really want to talk about that, okay? Hey, y'all. Hey, Maria. So go ahead and do me a solid, you guys. Like the video, share the video, invite your friends. Hey, Bianca. Hey, Tina. Hey, Kayla. Like the video, share the video, invite your friends. You know what I'm saying? So... but yeah, tonight's going to be a good night. I have been chilling out at the house. I kind of like this today. I had Amber come on and do a live, and I'm so sorry that it was echoing, you guys. I was so upset about that because she was sharing about her experience with Suboxone. And so, I like to show all sides, right? So I'm not going to just show people who had a positive experience with subs. I want to show people who maybe had a not so positive experience with subs. And she had a hard time because she was at a clinic who they didn't care about her. All they cared about was getting paid. And so she had a really tough time, and nobody informed her of a lot of things, And so I think that showing, all sides of it is important. So that way you guys are informed on what choices, on the choices that you want to make, right? Like, I don't want to just show you one side of things. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's really important to me. A lot of people like give me a hard time and say, oh, you're just hawking Suboxone. No, you guys, I believe in Suboxone. It saved my life. That's why I'm such a huge advocate of MAT treatment, because I know firsthand how much it saved my life. Hey, Abigail. Hey, Trey. I was a gutter junkie. I kept relapsing and relapsing and relapsing and relapsing over and over and over again, in and out of residential treatment. Okay. I had been to treatment so many times, I had the curriculum memorized. Okay. It was just like a vacation for me, and I kept failing. And the more that I failed at residential treatment, the more shame that I felt. Hey, Jody, the more shame that I felt, the harder it got to go back every time, and get the help. It was not fun, And so whenever I finally went, and got, sober, I got on Suboxone, and it ended up helping me in the long run. And I'm grateful that it has. Making me lose so much weight. Yeah, Tina, some people have a different effect. My husband had that happen too. He was losing weight. He lost weight on subs too. I had the opposite, and I gained weight, And so everybody's body is different, it responds differently to it. Hey, Lynn. in person or humans. Yeah, exactly. No people are the same. Thank you, girl. So I'm going to be using, tonight I'm actually going to do a deep condition on it because I haven't done it. And one of my people, Carrie, sent me a care package of just like some cool hair stuff and stuff like that. And so I really am trying to keep growing my hair out and keep it healthy. And when it grows out a little bit more, I'm going to get it like super layered, like Farrah Fawcett layers. You'll see. You'll see. Maria, yes. Well, it can be, it just depends on the person. Now, I will tell you guys this about weight gain. A lot of it is because you crave like sweets. I would crave sweets, you know? What about dental health? So, okay. And I want to talk to you guys about this. That's a good question. Dental health and Suboxone. Hey, I got a hair in my mouth. Suboxone is acidic, okay? A lot of things that we eat, that we drink are acidic, okay? But Suboxone is acidic and you hold it in your mouth underneath your tongue, right? And so to prevent tooth decay, you need to be brushing your teeth 30, 45 minutes after you take your Suboxone every day. There are some people who are reporting that they have tooth decay, but they're having to go to this lawyer, and if they don't have proof of their dental records, you know, up until they got on subs showing the health of their teeth, then they're not able to do anything about it, you know? And so a lot of us abused drugs and alcohol, and our teeth were, you know, affected by that also. And so I have no problem. I have gingivitis and periodontal disease where my gums are receding, but that's because it runs in my family. Like my dad has it, you know? And so there's always ways to like preventative, right? So flossing, seeing the dentist every 6 months, making sure you get your teeth cleaned, okay? Being proactive in taking care of your mouth. And so, yeah, but yes, it is acidic, so it can cause tooth decay. I mean, I've been on subs for 7.5 years, okay, you guys? And listen, when I got on Suboxone, I said, I'm only going to stay on it a year, okay? I'm going to get off in a year, Nate will be home, and all will be well. And I was not even close to being ready at a year, okay? And I'm being completely straight up with you guys. I am a hustler. You guys see how hard I work, okay? I'm in the books, okay? I'm going to classes, okay? I am like in it, right? I am always learning about addiction. I'm always doing some kind of live or class or something about addiction. And I was like that when I first started. I've always been like that the whole time, okay? And so if I was struggling and I needed to be on it for a while, then just imagine what somebody who maybe isn't as dedicated to their sobriety and doing everything they need to do to stay sober. Do you know what I'm saying? And so, honestly, those 7.5 years flew by for me, dude. It was like I woke up and they were gone, you know? And I'm glad that I had Suboxone because it really did help me to just maintain. Throughout those last 4 years, so the first 4.5 years I was straight, the last 3 years that I've been sober, I have been so depressed, debilitating depression. And I think if I wasn't on Suboxone, I might have committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so depressed and I was experiencing so much harassment online and people just like stalking and harassing me. So it has been a godsend. And you know, sure, there's some days where I get mad at myself and I think, you know, I should be off of this shit by now, or I get frustrated with the medication because of side effects that I have, you know, but at the end of the day, like, it has really helped me improve my quality of life from when I was in active addiction to now. Now that I have a great quality of life, if it ever started making my quality of life go down, then I would say, fuck this shit. And I would go into a detox and I would have them detox me there. But it's not doing that, right? And if that ever happens, I will take care of it. What's up, Joyce? Hey, Tamika, what's up, girl? Yeah, hey, Lee. to me suffers from severe depression from addiction, and you give me inspiration. Hey, Jennifer, thanks, girl. I appreciate that. How do I deal with my debilitating depression? You really want to know what I did? I was in bed all of 2021. Ask my husband and my son. And when I mean in bed, I mean I got up in the morning, I took my son to school, I came home, and I did my work in my bed. I did everything. My live streams, a lot of the time from my bed. Now, don't get me wrong. I would get up some days, you know, and go do something, but I didn't leave my house. Real talk. I bought my car in 2017 or 18? I can't remember. No, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Huh? Oh, yeah. So it says, I think it says 5-year loan. So I think 17. And my car only has 48,000 miles on it. I haven't even been driving it. Like, I'm serious. Okay. And so you can ask my husband. He would have to get me to leave the house because I hadn't left the house in so many days, like weeks. And so I really struggled. I didn't do good, you know. But what helped me come out of my depression and what helped me stay encouraged is my social media. And, you know, it was a big help for me to be able to come on and process. But let me tell you I picked 3 people, or my son did. I let him pick 2, right? And then I was like, we should do it one more just for honorable mention, okay? And so the way I did it was I had a list of all y'all's names, and I just let Nate close his eyes, and wherever his finger stopped, we picked him. He picked him, okay? And I circled him. So the first one is Braxton. The second one is Rob Schmidt. And the third one is Eileen Pena. If you heard your name announced for the giveaway winner, please DM me. Thank you. So, and I will try to do those, like that kind of stuff. Like, I can't do it every month because it's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But I can do it probably like every quarter. Okay, so every 90 days we'll have a giveaway. Okay, every 90 days. And so I was only supposed to pick 2 winners, but I picked 3 because I wanted to, you know, I don't know. I just want to make sure that I felt like I should. So I just had a thought that, hey, I should pick 3. So DM me if I called your name, and I really appreciate you guys for joining and, you know, joining the giveaway and everything, and it's all in good fun. So yeah, okay. Now, so let's talk about the depression I was just telling you all about. So they pulled me out. My husband would have to pull me out of my bed and make me go in my car. Sonia can tell you. So Sonia has followed me for a really long time over on my YouTube channel before I even started making videos over here. Yeah, your entries went through, Abigail. Every single one of y'all's did. You have to understand there was over 100 people that entered. Over 100 people that entered. And every one of you guys went in Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all 3. And so I was connecting y'all's names on TikTok and YouTube to your names on Instagram. So every single person, I wrote them down. And I was very, very, like, anal about it, too. And that's why I let Nate pick, because I didn't want to, like, be in it, you know? There's always a chance next time. Don't get discouraged. We're all adults, okay? Please don't, because then I won't do it. But Sonia will tell you guys, like, Neil would like, come on, Nicole, you got to get up. You've been in bed for 2 weeks. You haven't left the house in 2 weeks. And I would not even notice that I had been that I hadn't really left in 2 weeks, you know? I love you too, girl. Thanks. And so I couldn't take it anymore. And I went to my Suboxone doctor, and I told him, like, I have no energy. I feel like shit. I'm lethargic. And he put me on Wellbutrin, okay? He put me on Wellbutrin. Now, when I first started Wellbutrin, you guys, that shit had me zooming around here. I was bouncing off the walls, right? But then it stopped. Then it balanced out, I guess, in my system, and it didn't do that anymore. But when I first started it, I was freaking, it gave me energy. But like I said, it stopped doing that after that. After I got on Wellbutrin, it did help me with my depression a little bit, but not as good as I thought it would, you know? And a lot of the reason why I was so depressed was because I wasn't getting up and moving my body too. Okay? And so that was adding to my depression. But the thing was, I didn't have any motivation or energy to get up and move my body. Do you see what I'm saying? People would always tell me, oh, Nicole, just exercise. If you've never experienced depression to where you can't exercise, like people say, oh, just get up and push yourself and exercise. You can't. It's like you just don't have it. I don't know how to explain it, but you can't. It's like impossible, right? And I tried. Really, Cassandra? I've heard of people doing that, but I don't. I've also heard of people, Wellbutrin, Maria, I've also heard of people doing that in prison. I actually made a video about that. I think it's on my Reels. I like talking about that kind of stuff. Like, some people take Benadryl. Some people take those triple C's, and they abuse those. So I think a lot of the reason why I was depressed was because I was unhappy. You know, I was unhappy with where we were, and I had been unhappy for many, many years. And my husband knew that. I'm always very transparent with my husband. I always, talk to him about how I feel. And he knew that I was, depressed. He knew that I was not happy living where we were living, and he knew that I had basically given up on that house, and that I was discouraged, and that I felt kind of like trapped, but I was just being impatient. We really had to work hard to save up money to where we could get out of there. I'm on Wellbutrin and Lexapro. And so I had to wait, but now we're out of there, and I'm happy, and we're in our new place, and I just love it so much. I'm going to get curtains, so don't think I'm going to leave that like that. I just have to get my mom. I want her to design some. But I'm going to, I feel so much more like, how do I explain this? Like lightweight here. Like I feel like light. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like bright. I feel bright, So, okay, sorry about that, I had a burp. I don't even want to do anything for myself like self-care, and I used to always wear makeup and my hair done. Now I don't care how I look. I know how you feel. I know how you feel. And now I'm back into like putting my makeup in the morning, and I'm working really hard on trying to control how much food I take in, because I really do want to lose weight, and I really do want to like feel good about myself, And so, I'm just trying to stay positive and keep pushing myself. So I wanted to talk about the mom guilt with you guys, or dad guilt. I suppose guys could have it too, right? And I don't know if a lot of you guys were like me, but Nathaniel got taken away from me, right? Nathaniel got taken away from me, and when I got him back, the first year I got him back, I was struggling so much. I didn't know how to be a mom. I didn't know how to be a mom sober. I felt like the biggest failure. I felt like my son would be better off without me. And oh God, y'all, that was a hard year. That first year Nate came back, it was 2016. That was a hard year. And I didn't know what to do. And so what I did though, and I fucked up, and I want to share this with you. I parented my son out of guilt. And what I would do is when he would point at something, when we would go shopping, I would buy it for him. I wouldn't make him work for it. I wouldn't make him, do anything like a chore or something like that. I would just buy him the gift. And that became like a regular everyday thing whenever we went to the store. And so it really has like not been good, because now my little boy is spoiled rotten. You guys heard him the other day, upset because I wouldn't let him have his Christmas present now. You know, it's like, you cannot have your Christmas present now. And even when he's doing that, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I'll give it to him. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm really trying to stand my ground and not do it. It's very hard being a parent when you spent all your life getting high. You know, it's very, very hard. I still feel like I'm a kid. I still feel like I'm a 17-year-old kid in my mind. In my body, I feel like I'm a 70-year-old woman. But in my mind, I feel like I just made the dance squad at Lake Hamilton High School, and I am dating this guy, you know, that's a football player, and all kinds of stuff, you know? And I always have these thoughts about how I don't want to make the same mistakes that my mom and dad made with me. I don't want to make my son feel insecure or uncomfortable to talk to me. I don't want to scare him into talking to me because, you know, a lot of the reasons why I didn't tell my parents about things I struggled with was because I was afraid. I was afraid because my dad was an authoritarian parent. He, you know, ruled with an iron fist. And so if you didn't do what he said he did, it was going down, you know, down. And so that's why I want to make sure that Nathaniel knows that he can talk to me about anything, you know. It's hard to find a balance. Hey, Kathy, it's hard to find a balance for me. And I was actually talking to my instructor today because I had to do an assignment for him. And I'm going to read it to you guys. I had to do an assignment for him, and I was telling him that, you know, the reason why I want to get my certification is because I want to be able to provide the highest level of care to people that I'm working with and helping, right? I have integrity, and I know that there's some things that I need to learn and go to school for. And so I'll do that, you know. I'm not opposed to learning. And so today I'm going to read to you guys what I did. So the first question was 2 things I feel I do well. So I put, I feel like I do makeup really good, and I feel like I'm a very good public speaker. So I didn't always know that I was good at public speaking. In fact, my whole life I didn't know. I didn't even think it would be something that I want to do, you know, until I told my story at the treatment center that I graduated from. Okay, I graduated from Oasis Renewal Center here in Little Rock, and in 2016 I got my year, and I asked my sponsor if I could go tell my story. And she said, sure, what's wrong, babe? Nothing. She said, sure, why don't you call the treatment center that you graduated from and see if they'll let you come. I was like, okay. And they said yes. And I went and told my story. By the end of my story, you guys, we were all crying. I was crying. They were crying. It was a whole cry fest. There was 30 of them, 30 people in treatment at that time. And so I got down off the podium and we all hugged. What, Nate?
Zane got mad at me because he died.
What did he say to you?
He just got mad at me.
You know what? Tell him that if he
got so mad at me that he left the game and got off Fortnite.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, look at me.
What?
If he's getting mad at you because he died, you know what? That's immature.
Yes, I know.
You're being mature about it, and you don't blame him for you dying, okay? And look at me. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay, buddy? Why don't you see if OJ's on?
OJ, he's never on. He's not even on today, yesterday, or the next day.
You want to go lay in bed with Dad and watch a movie?
No.
Okay. Don't be upset.
There's a hole in the ground.
I know, I saw it. Don't dig in it, Nate. And do you need anything? Are you okay?
I'm hungry.
No, you're not. You just ate cereal, boy. He's always saying that he's hungry. And so after I told my story, I said, man, this is what I want to do. That was the day I said, I want to share. I want to help people, right? I want to speak in front of an audience of people. I want to be able to be there for people, you know? I want to help inspire people. Hey, Cody. And so that's when I decided that I was going to share my story and help people. That was in 2016. part with my dad. Sounds like our dads are the same. Yes, my dad is Italian. And he would basically like, it was his way or the motherfucking highway. Yes, I am all over the internet. I am on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, and everywhere you ever can go. And I also work with a bunch of other people managing their social media, so you might see me on theirs too. But my dad, he would spank us with a belt, and I did not realize how much trauma I experienced because of him spanking me with a belt. He would pop the belt and like taunt me and my little sisters with this fucking belt, dude. And when I think about it, because I love my dad, he's a good man. He is a good man. He just didn't know any better. His dad would beat him. So my dad came from a household where his father punched him in the face when he was 5 years old. Okay, like really beat him. And so it was really, really, really sad. My dad told me that story, and it was really, really sad. Oh, I know it's not bad. I didn't take it the wrong way. I am everywhere, because I am really, really active on social media, because I'm really passionate about what I'm doing. That's why I'm always on, and that's why I am on multiple platforms. Yeah, dude, trauma, but I didn't realize it. So one day I was sitting with all you guys actually, and we were talking about trauma, and I was trying to think back to when I was a child, right? What was it that made me not feel safe around my mom and dad to tell them things, right? And it started out with my dad and that belt and them making us, I remember they used to make us sit at the table until we finished every bite of our food. And that drove me insane, dude. Insane. Like, I would never do that to Nate. I would never force my child to eat if they're not hungry. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's like cruel. And so that's what they would do. And so it was just, I don't know, it's old school parenting style. You know, the new way that people parent their children is like gentle parenting is what they call it. Now, don't get me wrong. If Nate is bad, if he's real bad, I will have to have Neil, go in there and get on him or maybe even spank his butt. Only his bottom, but I would never hit my son or punch my son or nothing like that. I won't spank him because I get too angry. And he hasn't gotten spanked since he was 2 years old. I spat at his butt when he was 2 years old, and I felt so bad about it, I cried all day long. Damn, Abigail. Yeah, it is a different world. I like that people want to take the time to hear what their children have, because they're little people that are growing up with big emotions, and they don't know how to convey those emotions to us, And so just like my son just now coming out, Mom, Zane got mad because I won or whatever, and he was like really upset about it. I said, well, that's not your fault. He's being immature. You're okay. And he didn't understand, like, why would he get mad at me because he lost the game, right? Why is he taking it out on me, Mom? And so that hurt his feelings. My little boy is very sensitive, very sensitive. Cassandra, I don't know. Hard times make soft people, and soft times make strong people. But, and today I'll give you guys another example of my little boy being sassy. So today I picked him up, and every single day when I pick him up, it's a challenge, okay? It's a challenge because him and his best friend come running out of the school, and they want to play together every single day. Every day. They want to have a play date every day after school. Nathaniel is in jiu-jitsu, MMA, Boy Scouts, and he has homework every night. Okay, I don't know if you guys as kids are in third grade, but the third grade teachers over here send these kids home with homework every night. Okay, every night. And not just a little bit of homework, like a lot. Like, it's unbelievable, dude. Hey, Jennifer, I can't believe it. And so we have to finish homework. We have to do his computer work. He has to do like 20 minutes of computer work every night. And so by the time we get done with his extracurriculars and we come home, it's 6:30. By the time we eat, it's, you know, it's 7:30. Then he has to get in the shower at 8. And I want him in bed by 9, you know, because he will stay up and not wake up in the morning, and I have to push him out the door. And so they come running out and they're like, please, please, please. And today I said, no. The dogs are at the house. I walked Jetta. I left her out. I don't want her to pee on my new house, right? And so he was complaining, and I grabbed him by his little jacket, and I said, listen to me. I invited Zane over for a play date. I said, I will take the boys home, but his dad said no because he has to go to his mom's house. And I said, I need you to understand that I am the mom and that you are the kid. And I will tell you what we are doing. You cannot tell me that. You know, he's like, Mom, I'm sorry, but I just really want to have a play. I know. And I knew you did. I asked before he ever came out because I was going to allow his best friend, to come over. But he has to go to his mom's house this weekend, you know? So, kids are something else. Okay, let me read this other thing to y'all. What is your most significant achievement? Okay, y'all are going to, what is my most, so besides my sobriety and my little boy, my most significant achievement is the community that I have been able to build on social media. Why, you say? Because when I first started my social media journey, I was met with adversity, and I could have quit right then and never came back, but I didn't. I kept going, you know, and then 2 years into my YouTube channel, I had stalkers, a husband and wife. Their names were Nick and Jesse, and they would make videos about me on the daily. In fact, they took one of my videos where I was talking about selling my ass for some drugs, trading it for some drugs so I could get high. And they edited the video to say, I sold my ass for a honey bun, over and over and over again, making fun of my weight. And so that was my first real group of stalkers. Then they disappeared after about a year. Then I got another stalker here on Facebook, you know, and then I went to TikTok and I got the other lady who was calling CPS on me, And so all these times I have been able to be chased off, right? I was being chased off, dude. People were trying to get me to stop, okay? People trying to stop me from sharing my story, stop me from being able to help people, right? I was trying to help people. I was trying to be of service to people, and people were trying to keep me from doing that. And I could have just walked off and never came back, but I didn't. I stuck it out, and I stuck it out. I made a commitment, and I was dependable, and look where we are today. Look where we are today, okay? Like, this is a big accomplishment, you guys, to have people that depend on you and trust you. I take that very seriously. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I really go through my messages every single night and respond to every single message every night. Okay? I really do that. Like, you can message a lot of people that say that you can message them, and they will never answer, you know. But I literally go through my spam mail every night here on Messenger, so I can make sure that I get y'all's messages, you know. And so I'm not just one of those people that comes on here and talks about helping people and then doesn't do it, or I talk about helping people because it makes me look good. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Okay, here's another one. What is a major fail that you had this year? Hey, Elena. And you guys can answer these questions too. What is a major failure that you had this year? Okay, so I'll tell you mine. January, I failed jumping off the Suboxone. I failed like miserably. I jumped off and I was off of it for 2 weeks and I was depressed as fuck. I was miserable. And so I got back on the 0.25 that I was on. And I was kicking myself in the ass. Why, you say? Because I should have listened to Dr. B, to my doctor, and stayed where I was at just a little bit longer. But I got super impatient, dude. I was really, really impatient, and I wanted it to be over with, right? It's okay, Abigail. Thank you, Elena. Thanks, Megan. I wanted to be able to show people that if I can do it, they can do it. Like, it was so important to me. And it was also important to me because I wanted to show all the trolls and haters that I am fucking doing it, you know? And when I didn't, and I came back, because I'm not going to lie about it. And I was honest with all of you guys. And you know what happened? You guys were like, it's okay, Nicole. I failed too my first time. And when I tell you, I was bawling my eyes out because I was so afraid that everybody was going to be so disappointed in me. But they weren't. They were all like, that makes me relate to you even more. That makes me feel like I'm not the only one who struggled, you know? And I was just so grateful to be able to have everybody support me, you know? Because I really, really wanted to do it to show people that, you know, that they could do it too. And so, I thought that I was going to get met with a bunch of people making fun of me, and I wasn't, you know. So, in fact, so many people actually reached out to me because they had similar experiences, you know. And so, now what I do is I don't look at it as so much as a failure, but I look at it more as an experience, a learning experience, you know. I learned that I have no patience. I learned that I have to have patience. And I also learned that, you know, there's no easy way, okay, to get off this medication for me. I don't believe there's an easy way, okay? I believe that I can get down really low, but I still think I'm going to have discomfort, and I just have to face that, you know? Now, when I went through withdrawal off opiates, you guys, like me and my husband would always go through withdrawal because we would get a bunch of pills and we would do them all, and then we would run out. And so we were always in withdrawal, in and out, in and out. And so I handle my withdrawal pretty well, so I don't know why I'm tripping on it, you know, on doing it. But I just don't want to have to fucking deal with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to deal with it, y'all. I just don't want to deal with it. It's just, I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. And so, I'm just going to stay on a little bit longer and, you know, just kind of chill where I'm at. And, maybe I'll do it next year in January. Start at the beginning of the year again, you know? And see if I can do it then. And if I do it next year, I will do videos about it on my channel and here on Facebook, and we can do it together, you know. And I've also thought about this, you guys. Okay, so since I'm going to school for my counseling thing, I've been thinking about, you know, like, I mean, is it really that bad to be on like a little itty bitty piece of Suboxone, you know, for the rest of your life? I mean, is it really that big of a deal? I mean, I don't get high from it, you know. I don't get high. I just feel normal, you know. And I take a very, very tiny piece. Like I said, 0.25 of a milligram. That is 1/4 of a milligram. Okay? My backstory, what do you mean? My nose is running, sorry y'all. My backstory, I was addicted to, okay, so I guess that, I got sober in 2015 when my little boy got taken away from me. I was addicted to methamphetamine, opioids, cocaine, and Xanax. My addiction started when I was 17 years old. The first time I ever did a stimulant was when I was 15. I felt super fat, so I talked my mom into taking me to see a doctor, and the doctor put me on phentermine. which is an amphetamine. So I got on the phentermine, and it literally made me lose like weight overnight, right? I love the color of the shirt, you guys. I'm obsessed with it. It made me lose weight overnight, and I was like, hell yeah. So I only took it for 20 days, and I was really, really happy, or 30 days. I was really happy with the outcome, and I went on about my life, right? Well, as I got older, you know, I thinned out, and I was also in a lot of extracurricular activities like cheerleading and basketball and fast pitch softball and all that. And so I was doing, you know, really good. Well, when I was 17 years old, I had made the dance team, and I started dating this guy who played on the football team. Well, I started going to parties, okay? I started going to parties like after the football games and after the basketball games, and we were all drinking. And where I live was in the country in Hot Springs, so we would have these big ass fucking keg parties, okay? Kegs of beer. And so I was doing keg stands at 17 years old. Topless keg stands, y'all. Okay? That's where you do a handstand on the keg, and the guys hold your legs up in the air, and they stick the spout in your mouth, and you suck the beer out of it. Okay? So I was wilding out. And so I started drinking all the time, you know, drinking like a fucking fish, staying drunk, partying. And then when did I start using? So I was partying, and I tried cocaine for the first time with my boyfriend. He actually had it with him at school, and I did a line of cocaine in English class. And I remember I was like, this is great, you know, but it only lasted like a really short time, and I was like, what a waste of money, you know, what a waste of money. So some time went by, and I was just smoking weed and drinking alcohol. And then I met my friend Jessica, took me over to her cousin's house, who's Mexican, Marco, and he had meth. And honey, he had meth, and he was smoking it out of a bowl. And I was like, I had never tried it, so of course I tried it. And it is amazing. I fell in love. I was like, this is where it's at, you know. I could stay up for 3 days, you know, off of a little bit of meth. And so that's when I became addicted to meth. And I graduated high school. I started working at JCPenney, and I was buying methamphetamine. Like, I was legit purchasing it, you know. I was addicted. My best friend Nikki was shooting Roxy's and Oxycontin. This is when the 80s were out and all that. And I was, you know, smoking meth. Now, I was of course taking Xanaxes, and I was taking pain pills also. I was snorting, you know, pills, but I wasn't like doing them as much as I was doing methamphetamine. And that's when I went to treatment my first time, which was in 2004 or 5. And I went into treatment, and I had benzos and opiates and meth in my system. And I did treatment. I got out, and I relapsed after about fucking 6 months or something like that. I was back at it again. To make a long story short, I was back at treatment 6 other times, okay? And every time I went into treatment was to come off of opioids and benzos, right? Because one thing that I would do was I would shoot methamphetamine, okay? And then I would get really high, and I would be super geeked up, and then I would need to go to work. And I worked a full-time job, okay? I worked at Kroger for the majority of my addiction. And I would need to go to work and get it together, so I would take some Xanaxes to bring me down, to calm me down, right? I was still geeked, and I did a great job at my job. I worked really hard when I was high like that. So it was all good, you know? And so I would take a bunch of Xanaxes to level me out. Well, I was with my friend Quincy, and we had left Nate's house, and we were going to take somebody some dope, some meth. And when we left their house after delivering it to them, yes, Opana's, after we delivered the meth to them, we were surrounded by detects and marked vehicles, and we got charged. I got charged with possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine. And I was placed on probation for 3 years. Well, I thought I could handle the probation. I thought that I could stay sober, or else I wouldn't have even taken that motherfucking shit, you know? But I couldn't. My probation officer, y'all, she used to make me raise my leg and show her my coochie. She used to bend over and look inside my coochie, okay, to see if I had something in there. I don't know why. I always would walk in and tell her, I'm going to fail for that, right? And she still would do it. It was so weird. One time she made me do it and I was so embarrassed, and she standing over me while I was peeing. I was pushing so hard to try and get the pee out. I shitted on the floor right in front of her because she was fucking standing over me, like fucking basically like bulldogging me while I was trying to push pee out of my vagina, you know, like how fucking embarrassing, dude, you know. And then she looked at me like I meant to shit on the floor. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you think I want to fucking be here? You know, she was an evil bitch. So I kept failing drug tests, so I figured, well, what I need to do is I need to go to the doctor and get a prescription. That's what I need to do. So I called my sister Michelle and I said, Michelle, I need to know where I can get a prescription of some benzos and opiates. And so she said, bop, 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 right here. So I went and seen this doctor over on Section Line Road. And when I got there, I paid $200. And when they called me back, the doctor literally walked up to me, handed me a book, and asked me what I wanted. And this, when I think back to this, I think, why didn't I get Oxys? But I got Norcos and Klonopin and Soma. Okay. And, I had my Norco, Klonopin, and Soma. And so I was like, I can pass the drug test now. And I told her, I said, yeah, I got my prescriptions now. And that's when she said, okay, I want you to bring me your prescriptions so I can count your pills. What? Oh, hell no. Count my pills? They're gone. They were gone 2 days after I got them. I ate them all. And she was pissed. She was pissed. I tried to put other pills in there and it didn't work. And so she said, you're going to treatment. And so she sent me to rehab. And so I went to rehab and I came out and I relapsed right away. And that's when she sent me to prison. She said, okay, I'm revoking you and you're going to prison, DeMayo. My last name used to be DeMayo. And so I was like, oh shit, I'm going to prison. So I had 30 days before I went to prison. So I partied my motherfucking ass off. Okay. And then I called my parents and I said, you know, I was driving to the courthouse to get sentenced to go to prison. And I said, Mom, Dad, you know, I'm putting my keys in the little gas tank thing and I'll see you in a year. I love you. And I went and parked my car and went in and took my fucking charge and went to prison, you know, went to prison. And I was there for a year. My parents came and visited me on visitations every Saturday, I think it was. And I was so scared when I first got there because I thought that, you know, I thought prison was like this really horrible place where like some bitch named Bertha was going to jump out of the corner and like shank me or something with a toothbrush that she had sharpened, right? But it wasn't like that at all. At all. The girls there were super chill and they were very helpful and they helped me out. You know what I mean? They helped me out. A lot of them had been there for a while, like 5 years or more. And so they helped me out. And I ended up getting, I withdrew in jail. I ended up getting a job in the laundry department in prison. And it was the bomb. I worked in laundry from like 3 o'clock in the morning until noon every day. And so it made my days go by like really fast, you know? And when I got there, I just made my mind up. I put my calendar on the wall and I was like, okay. And I just started Xing the days out one by one. And I got out of there and I paroled out to a sober living house here in Little Rock. See, I lived in Hot Springs. But I had called my probation officer and asked her if I could come back to Hot Springs because I was going to parole out to my parents' house. And she said I was banned from the county. What the fuck? I've lived there for 20-something years, you know? Banned from the county. Okay. I see. So I paroled out to Little Rock, which honestly, Best decision I ever made, because I had 6 months left on paper. And the probation office here in Little Rock, dude, they're busy dealing with gang members, okay? They're busy dealing with people who are shooting people on the streets, okay? Because Little Rock has a large gang presence. And so they thought I was an angel. And so I walked my 6 months off paper and I was good to go. Good to go, you know? So I was good to go, and I was living in the sober living, and I was actually doing really good. I was staying sober. I stayed sober for 9 months, and then I fucking relapsed. And that's how it always happened. I would stay sober for 6 to 9 months, and then I would relapse. So I relapsed, and this is when I started shooting Roxy's, okay? I started shooting Roxy's. I dropped the meth for about a couple of years, and I was specifically shooting Roxy's and taking Xanax. And this is where I started to like end up in the hospital, because I was overdosing everywhere. They found me in the IHOP parking lot. They found me over here, over there. Somebody dropped me off at the ER. And it was just like I was in the fucking hospital all the time. And you know what? I had to fucking pay those bills. They were taking my state taxes every year because of my hospital bills. Every year. Okay? Every year. So I went to treatment like 2 or 3 more times here in Little Rock. And then I think he did Kathy. He was the doctor over there on Section Line Road. He was like Asian. Right, yeah, Section Line Road. I would have to, I don't know if the little building is there anymore, but it looked like a little house on the right. But I went to 2 or 3 more treatment centers here in Little Rock, and then I met my husband in 2012. And me and Neil I was over at my friend's house. I was living there because I was homeless, okay, you guys? Like, I didn't have my own home. I couch hopped. I stayed at all my different friends' houses, right? And I could always, find somewhere I could stay. And like I stayed with Tara for like 2 or 3 years. Then I moved out of her house and moved in with Robin, my old sponsor. Then I moved out of her house, then I moved in with my friend Joe, and so on and so forth. And so I had moved in with Kaylee and Hunter, and my bedroom was the living room because I slept on the couch. And my car had been impounded, and I sold it. I sold it for $3,000 out of the impound to a lady, and went and bought a whole bunch of Roxy's and Xanax and went on a fucking spree of just craziness. So I was over at their house, and Neil came over with my friend Casey, this guy that I always hung out with. And when I tell you guys, when I saw Neil, I thought that he was so cute. And I told him that. And he asked me if I wanted to go hang out with him that night, because him and Casey were going to get a hotel room. I was like, sure. And so I went and hung out with him that night, and we didn't kiss, we didn't touch each other. We laid on the 2 beds, like facing each other like this, and we talked all night long. We talked about if we wanted to have kids, if we wanted to be married, what our religion was, how many boyfriends we had or girlfriends we've had, all kinds of stuff. Just getting to know each other, And the next morning he took me back to Kaylee's house, and then he called me the next day and asked if I wanted to go out again, And I was like, sure, but I'm babysitting Crooklyn, Kaylee's little girl who is bad. So that's why we called her Crooklyn. And so I went out with him. He came and picked me up while I was babysitting the kids, and we all went out to the park and stuff, and he put his arm around me, and my stomach was like, woo, flipping around, and because I knew I really liked him. Okay, Abigail, I knew I really, really liked him, and so he never left my side after that. We were like this, you guys, stuck together. He started sleeping over at the house with me on the couch. He had a full-time job. I had a full-time job at the time, and then I got 2 barred out one day, and I got fired from my job at Kroger that I had all those years. And I remember calling Neil crying and told him, I said, I got fired, and he came and got me and rescued me, and that's what he's always done for me. Neil's always been there for me and rescued me and taken care of me. He's just the best. I love my husband so much. He's my best friend. I love him more than anything in the world. We were both really badly addicted to drugs, though. He was prescribed 365 methadone 10 a month. And so I was taking his methadone. We were shooting oxys in between that when we didn't have methadone. And then I started shooting meth. And I got Neil to shooting meth because he didn't shoot meth. And when we started shooting meth together, it was just craziness because I would hallucinate really bad. I would hallucinate that he was cheating on me. I would hallucinate that, you know, he didn't love me, just crazy stuff. And it would cause us to argue. You know, he never hit me or anything like that, but we just argued about stuff. Well, in 2013, I got pregnant. I was in the kitchen and my father-in-law said, "Are you pregnant?" And I said, "No, what are you talking about?" He said, "Yes, you are." And I was like, "Whatever, man." A week later, I took a drug test. A week later, I took a pregnancy test and I was pregnant. And so I stopped doing opiates. I stopped doing benzos, but I could not stop doing meth. And I shot meth. And I'm so ashamed of that. And that's the one thing in my life that I wish I could change. I think about it every day, every single day. Okay, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about the fucked up shit that I did when I was pregnant and how I could have hurt my son and how much shame and guilt I feel because of that. And I still haven't forgiven myself for that. And I don't think I ever will. Okay, real talk. I'm a mom. And so I gave birth to my son in 2014 on July 4th. And he was perfect. Perfect as perfect could be. And we went home on July 6th. And I told God, I said, "I'm staying sober. I'm never going to use again, God." And I meant that from the bottom of my heart. But I relapsed after 90 days. And I was back to the races. Well, about a year to the day later, 2 days before my son's first birthday, CPS came knocking at my door. You see, my best friend called CPS on me because we had a fight. She owed me money. I went and collected it from her old man, and she got pissed. So she called me and said, "Bitch, I'm calling CPS on you." I was like, "Girl, no, you're not." And she did. She told CPS that I was starving my son, that he was skin and bones, that he had shit all over him, and he was living in a room that was piss and shit and all kinds of lies. Lies, okay? So CPS came over, and they couldn't get me for anything. Like, they couldn't get me for the house. They couldn't get me for this or that. The only thing that they could get me for was failing a drug test. I failed my drug test for benzos and opiates. And so I was very forthcoming with CPS, and I told them that I struggled with addiction, which I should have never said a thing, because I thought that they were there to help me, right? I really did, you guys. I learned very quickly that they weren't, and I was so grateful that my husband did not say nothing to them and that he didn't open his mouth about his struggles, because it would have been a lot harder on us. They made me go to treatment, of course, right away. And they said if I went to treatment at the treatment center they chose, I would be able to take my son with me. So I was like, okay. Well, the treatment center that they chose didn't take regular PPO insurance. They only took Medicaid. And so I couldn't go there. Well, that means that they were taking my son. And when I tell you guys, I was pissed as fuck, because we asked if my son could go to his grandma and grandpa. They said they denied them because CPS makes $3.3 million off of every child that they remove from care and place into foster care. And I know you're probably going, "No, they don't." Yes, they do. Yes, I do. I'm going to upload the video on Reels. This one dude on TikTok, his account's called Malibu Dallas. Go watch this dude. He's smart as fuck, and he shows all the proof, okay? And they make mad money off of taking your children and placing them in care. You see, taking my son and placing him in his grandparents' care, then they wouldn't get paid. They only get paid if the person's care they place them in is a foster parent, okay? So my sister-in-law was a foster parent, and she went and tried to get custody of him. But I told them no, because I knew if my son went with her and her brother, my husband, have a very strained relationship. And I knew if my sister-in-law got my son, it would be fucking hell to pay. So I told him I'd rather him go with a stranger than go with her. He doesn't even know his auntie. She doesn't even come over. He's never fucking been with her. She's held him once when he was fucking delivered, and that was it. And so they took my little boy and they put him in foster care. And they had nowhere for him to go. So he went through 2 different homes before they put him in a regular one. And I was pissed as fuck. I went into treatment. I graduated from treatment. My husband had gotten on Suboxone while I was in treatment. So when I got out, I got on Suboxone also, because I know me and my husband, if I came out and I stayed off Suboxone and he was on it, I would end up taking his medication. I know it. I know it. We were codependent on each other, right? Lisa, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's always been, that they can go with next of kin, right? That are sober, and like my mother and father-in-law are really well off. They had a really brand new nice house, all kinds of stuff. No, but I'm telling you, there's some really crooked case workers and people that work in CPS, you guys, who, you see all the kids that die that CPS has been to the house, and they leave them with the parents. So, you know, they really were just backwards. And I truly believe it was because they wanted to place my son with my sister-in-law, and they didn't know that I would raise Cain about it. You know what I mean? So basically, after that, me and my husband fought tooth and nail for the next year to get our son back. They tried to keep my son from me. They tried everything in the book. They made me take psychological evaluation after psychological evaluation, because they kept trying to prove that I was somehow unfit. Okay? They tried to accuse my husband of drinking alcohol and being an alcoholic. My husband doesn't drink any alcohol. We don't have alcohol in the house. Okay? Then they tried to say that because we were on subs, we weren't sober, so we couldn't have our kids back, right? So I fucking brought my whole team from the fucking doctor's office and my nurse and counselor and everybody to court the next time we came, and proved to them about our sobriety. And that's when the judge said, give them these kids back. Give them their kid back, you know? Give her, bye y'all, you're out of here. Go, take your kid. You know what I mean? And I was like, thank God, because I literally was fighting so hard, you guys. I was going to meetings. I was working with a sponsor. I was helping others. I was fucking going to every parenting class that they wanted me to go to. I was working a full-time job. So was my husband. We had a house. We had everything, right? Transportation, everything. And they were still trying to keep my little boy from me, you know? So we got Nate back, and the rest is motherfucking history. The rest is history. I got Nate back, and I stayed sober from 2015 till 2017. And then I started my social media. I stayed sober the whole time. I've been sober for 7.5 years. But I'm saying that I went that long without having social media. And then in 2017, I started my social media. So that's that is my backstory, okay? I came from a really great family. My mom and dad are still married to this day. My mom's Mexican and my dad's Italian. And I have 2 little sisters, Michelle and Christine. Christine is a musician and a lesbian. And my sister Michelle actually works at a dispensary, and she has a boyfriend named Andrew. My sister Michelle does medical marijuana. She's the one who basically made me realize that it could have therapeutic value and help people, because my sister has glaucoma, and it has actually relieved the pressure behind my sister's eyes from smoking weed. So yeah, that's why I support all pathways, because I truly believe that, you know, every one of us is so different, and there's no way that we can all just do the same treatment, you know? Thanks, Kathy. And Kathy knows me. I used to work with Kathy at Sonic. She knows me from Hot Springs. I could have put so many stories in there from me being high at Sonic, y'all, but I'm not going to do that. Or me and Jerry being fucked up, my best friend Jerry being fucked up as hell. But I was selling Xanaxes out of the drive-thru window, and my best friend Jerry was the manager, so he fired my ass, and I was outside crying, and then he rehired me in the same day. We were so crazy, you guys. You just have no idea. No idea. But I enjoyed my time when I was out there wilding out, you know. It didn't get bad until I moved to Little Rock, and I was, well, no, that's a lie. When I started shooting up methamphetamine, that's when it got bad. You know, when I started injecting drugs, and that's when I started to lose grip, lose reality, break away from reality, you know. And so I am happy sober. And now what I do, now my passion is helping others, you know. I love helping people. It doesn't bother me at all when you guys message me or call me. I enjoy it. It makes me so happy to hear when you guys tell me, Nicole, I got on Suboxone today. I finally got off drugs, you know. Or Nicole, I'm going to rehab tomorrow, or I'm going to detox. I literally love it. I love it. You know, it's a very... Thanks, Abigail. Your orange aura is connected to strong emotions. Oh, cool. You know all that kind of stuff. I love that though. My friend is really into astrology, and I'm a Pisces. I was born March 8th, 1982.
What am I?
You are a Cancer. You were born July.
Cancer?
No, you are a Cancer.
Oh.
Ah. For any medical condition, children need their parents, good, bad, and indifferent. Yeah, Jody, I know. I agree. And so what I think should happen, if a woman is using substances and she's, you know, having a hard time, I believe that they should, no, not back there. Don't take that food back there. I believe that their child should be able to stay with them, because
Can I not take it in my
if I put it in a bowl, Nate, it only ends up causing trauma to the child. Okay? Now, what name?
Smart food, cheddar cheese.
My little boy doesn't remember getting taken away, but his body remembers the trauma, because my little boy has never been left anywhere in his whole entire life. Okay, ever. If I'm late 1 second, and I don't mean late, I mean like he's a car rider. I don't pick him up and I walk up. If I'm not there right when he comes out, he gets upset. He feels like I'm going to forget about him. And so I truly believe that the reason why he feels like that is because he has been taken from me before by CPS, right? And so I feel like he remembers that in his mind, you know? So... you know, using drugs doesn't make a person a bad person, okay? And I'll go even further. Like, we're adults. If we want to use drugs, we can use drugs, right? There you go. Don't make a mess, Nate, okay? If we want to put substances in our body, we have free will to do that. And so, it's crazy how, you know, the government tries to control what we do with our kids and stuff. You know, as long as you're not causing harm to your children, that's your prerogative. Nathaniel, right now, pick up that toilet paper and throw it in the trash can. Come on now, buddy. This is our brand new place. You can do better than that. And listen, I don't want to do drugs, you guys. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, why are they trying to tell people what they can do? You know, it's just crazy to me. It's just weird. You're annoying. Yeah, my son says stuff like that too. Oh, my freaking back is killing me, you guys. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't plan on telling my story tonight, but I guess, you know, that's cool. I don't mind sharing it. I like actually sharing it, because then you guys know, you know, kind of what I've been through. Now, I left a lot out, okay? A lot. I have been raped in active addiction. Actually, I was over at my friend's house who I was living with, and his roommate, you know, we were smoking a blunt, and I was waiting for my friend to get home. His roommate was there with me, and I was alone, and he went and he cut the breaker and chased me around the house in the dark. until he caught me and then raped me. Told me if I didn't give it to him that he would basically beat the dog shit out of me until I was unrecognizable to my family. So, you know, so I just fucking did what I had to do to get the fuck out of there. And the minute it was over, I ran out of there like a fucking, I ran out of there so fast there was smoke coming from my feet. And then another time in active addiction, I got knocked the fuck out by a girl. Her name was Amy. And she thought I was talking to her old man, which I wasn't. And let me tell you, her old man got busted for child porn and is in prison now. Why the fuck would I talk to that fool? He was old as hell too, like 50 years old. I was just getting meth from him. But she came over at 3 o'clock in the morning, and my friend Tara was like, hey, Amy's wanting to talk to you about something. So I walked out there, and I was like, hey, girl, what's up? Before I could even say what's up all the way, she dropped my ass. And I was like, not expecting it. She stole on me. And she got in her boyfriend's truck and tried to run me over with it. So I rolled out of the way, got up, and ran so fast that smoke was coming from my feet again. That was the first time that I have ever experienced fight or flight. And it was like flight, you know what I mean? Like there was no question about it. I was flying out of there, you know? I had also been up for like days. And so I had no coordination. I was just really wobbly and just tired as fuck, you know? So anyway, I'm going to get off here, you guys, and go lay down. But I need the giveaway winners, Braxton, Rob Schmidt, and Eileen Pena to message me and let me know your Cash App or Venmo or whatever. And I will go ahead and send you your gift. And we will do another giveaway, you guys, in about 60 days, 60 to 90 days, okay? And we'll do another one, so don't get discouraged or anything like that. We'll do another one, and the people who have already won won't be eligible to enter into the other one. Do you know what I'm saying? So I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. I enjoyed hanging out with you. And, yeah. Hold on, let's see this. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. But I love you guys, okay? Be good. If you need to message me, you can DM me, and I answer my messages. I'm about to go sign on right now so I can answer all the messages that are in there, okay? Okay, Sheila, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, come on with it, girl. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow, okay? All right. Night, y'all.